Holy Cobra Kai! There is no game that pissed me off more than the Karate Kid growing up. But since it was a part of my original collection, I have a lot of nostalgic memories for it. Karate Kid for the NES was part of the original group of games my family picked out on that amazing night at Toys R Us. Well, let me clarify that statement. I picked it out. I was a huge fan of the movies, and for crying out loud, it's about karate. It's gotta be good, right? Who doesn't want to be Ralph Macchio going around kicking ass? No, just forget about all that, because this game is a picky, whiny little baby that only lets you kick ass when it feels like it. In fact, most of the time you'll be begging for mercy in a world that doesn't even offer it. And you know what the funny thing is? This isn't the type of game I've been trying to beat for 20-some years. No, I tried for months when I was around the age of 10, but I had to quit because of how insane this game was making me. This game bullied me through my childhood and left me waking up in cold sweats throughout my life. So after 22 years, it's my turn. The first stage is basically the tournament portion of the first movie in the series. No running away from bullies wearing skeleton outfits, no training montages with Miyagi, no bonsai trees, no romance stuff, just guys wearing gis that run toward you. Your first instinct in a game like this is to start trying all of your moves to figure out what all you can do, but this game doesn't even give you a chance. Immediately, all of the enemies just run at you without any warning, giving you no time to prepare. The funny thing is you don't exactly need to do much. You can try jumping all over the place with punches and kicks, but ultimately the only good tactic here is to stand perfectly still and just hit your kick button. If you touch any other buttons, you will get your ass handed to you. For the second stage, you'll go into a side-scroller mode, which is basically the bulk of the game. It plays pretty similar to a classic title called Kung Fu. A lot of the control scheme is pretty similar, but the moves aren't nearly as effective. Just like with the first stage, you'll notice right away the only real effective move you have is your basic kick. Now along the way you'll find C and D icons, which stand for drum punch and crane kick. These are your special moves, which are shown by the move counter on the top right. Even though there is a counter for these moves, it's not exactly easy to save these for later moments in the game. In this regard, it's due to the bad controls. If you're standing still and hit B, you kick. However, if you happen to have one crane kick special and you hit B, you'll do a crane kick. So if you want to save this move for, say, the boss at the end of a level, you can never hit B alone when fighting the other enemies. Instead, you have to hold forward and hit B on every enemy in the game in order for you to save your special move. Same goes for punching. So if you have any interest in saving what you've earned for the end, you're constantly holding forward on the controller. And just to make it worse, to jump, you press up. Now referring back to Kung Fu, just like in that game, you also have to press up to jump. The only difference is that jumping didn't come into play every 2 seconds, so Karate Kid for the NES wears on your thumb pretty quick. Oh, and I haven't even mentioned the bonus stages. Scattered through these levels, you'll find doors that'll lead to bonus stages that are designed for you to gather special moves and points. As a kid, I hated these. Everyone I knew used to swear up and down that it would be easier to do these in real life. Now that I'm older, let's test this theory. Nope. Nope. Who designed this stage? I've had nightmares about this specific part of the game, and still to this day, the very image of that swinging hammer makes me want to punch myself in the bonsai tree. I get it. They took some training sequences from the movies, but there's no warning or indication on how to do this. After all these years, I still don't understand how this works. The very few times I've managed to survive 1 or 2 passes, I'm still not exactly sure what I did. I mean, I'm kinda moving forward, and at the last second, I move the D-pad in the opposite direction while pressing A. Sometimes it works, but most of the time it doesn't. In some cases, I get too carried away, and I'll end up walking right off the platform. In the end, what does it really amount to? Special moves? You mean those things I accidentally waste all the time because the controls were obviously designed by a microwave? I would give you the advice of never going in any of the doors, but since you have to hit up the jump, which just so happens to be the same control you have to hit just to get inside one of these doors, it's pretty much a given you're going to accidentally run into a bonus stage just from jumping all over the place. Oh, but that is not what pissed me off about this game, if you can believe that. It was all about the third stage. Oh yeah, it is all coming back to me now. It's supposed to be the Typhoon scene from Karate Kid 2, which is why you're constantly being forced back by the wind, and of course, you have a million things flying at you. This is where your enemies really start to be a problem. In the second stage, it's really not that bad. It's pretty simple just to walk up and kick your opponent and continue moving on. On this Typhoon stage, you're being forced back and constantly getting hit by everything in sight, which pushes you backward even further. It's almost as if you become part of a pinball machine. Look at this! Look! Or look at this one! I just want to get up to the top and these birds are kicking my ass! Birds! What really drives the point home is the fact that you're surrounded by pits. You are pretty much guaranteed to be bounced in one of these holes. This stage single-handedly caused a habit in myself where when I got angry at shitty games like this, I would punch the hell out of my legs while I was seated in front of the TV. And guess what? Half-Bit-San still has this habit. F you, Mr. Miyagi. Once you reach the end, you fight Chosen and save the girl. Now for the final stage, every once in a blue moon, as a kid, I would make it to the last level. I usually didn't last very long considering all my lives were usually used up in the Typhoon stage. All of your enemies now take 2 hits, which is fine, but what always ended my life quickly were these bastards with these spears. When they hit you, you stay forced back the entire time until you're able to get a good kick or punch in. I hated these things because it was usually the last thing I saw before a game over screen. So the only way I'm going to be able to beat this is to somehow figure out a way past these guys. But you know what I realized? I never noticed this as a kid, but what's the one thing in common with all of these levels? 2 guys. There's always 2 bad guys on the screen at once at any given moment. So my plan is to somehow get in front of these guys and just have them chase me. And guess what? It worked. Look at these bastards chase me. After what the game puts you through, I don't even feel cheap. From here, it's just a nice jog to the finish line. The final battle takes place on a platform where you just simply kick them in the face, and I finally get to see the ending to this game. It better be epic. Totally worth it.